Do you have an impersonation of Xavier?
In the show, you do this a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck is my wife? Where the fuck is my wife? It's true. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hulu's official Paradise Companion podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Michelle Bethay, and today I am thrilled, I say, to be talking to my husband, Sterling, who I am happy to now be able to confirm, yes, he was actually in this season of the show, which is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on DisneyPlus. And all joking aside, you were pretty dope.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. There's so many things that I want to talk about. First of all I could think about was how you gonna get in a plane and crash. I was so mad at you.
It was a storm.
Yeah.
It was a big storm.
Yeah, and at first I was like, okay, but you had some, you know what it was?
What?
I'm very attached to Xavier, and I did not want to see him crash. And so there was a
crash either.
Okay, well, good. Okay, so we agree. We agree.
We don't.
We don't
Always. I agree.
Thank you. But honest, in all sincerity, I was like, how we need something to go right. When you got on that plane, in my mind, you were just, it was, I don't know why I thought it would be smooth sailing. No. But, and then what also happens when and again, in all seriousness, with the plane crash, we realized just how very alone the world, like how silent the world is, right? Because you're in this Cessna and you're doing all the things that you've been trained to do, Cessna 2289, Alpha Bravo Charlie, you know, and—
It's the first three letters.
Thank you.
Very good.
And that's what you've been trained to do in a world where there are people.
Right, and nobody's hitting me back.
Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Like the silence of that was deafening to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm like, and your initial instinct is he's flying through this storm, he can't see. It's like, you're gonna run into another plane. It's like, well, no, you're not.
No.
Ain't no more planes.
Ain't no more planes.
Just your plane.
It's just me.
Just you. Yeah, so anyway, so that's something that stuck with me too about that episode, was just how silent the world is, you know? And then this leads me to my next question about the kids.
What about the kids?
The silent, because we land in the silent, and it's so loud. Yeah. The crash and the fire and everything is happening, and then how silent the kids are and how they keep. What was that like?
I think they'd learn silence for safety.
Right, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know that, like, drawing attention to themselves is the last thing that they want to do. Shout out to those kids. The young boy who plays Daniel, his name is Alexander, and he has a special place in my heart. Very sweet, very precocious young man who did a wonderful job.
Incredible job.
All the kids are great. And I also want to, I'll shout them all out. But this little girl is like the cutest little thing on the face of the planet. Got like these big old gorgeous eyes that just peer at you. He's hurt real bad.
He's hurt bad.
So sweet. I love these kids. And you know me, like, you know me personally.
Say, people don't know this. I don't know how many people know this about you, but you love, like, you're a whisperer of children.
I am.
In the fact that you can connect with them.
I'm just a giant one myself, basically. Yeah, I know. You want to say it, so I'll let you say it. Listen, if I'm not a giant kid, I like sitting at the kids' table at Thanksgiving.
Yes, you have always.
I can say that much for sure. So I had a wonderful time with all of them, and just sort of like exploring this idea that for the first season of the show, you see people with resources, people with planning, be able to endure something that seems like they've tried to create a day-to-day situation. Now we're exploring in episode 1, and now with these kids and the people that they encounter, what it's been like for the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? Who have varying degrees of resources at their disposal, and then people who just got to make a way out of no way. These kids are all by themselves, right? Yeah, like it's a fascinating thing to think about. Like, if this global atrocity transpires, like, how do you make it through? And these kids are just basically hunter-gatherers, scavenging off of whatever they can find, moving from place to place, and just making it. Barely. Thank you.
talk us through what Xavier was thinking about in terms of fatherhood, because I think that's such a theme of this episode, but also a theme of what it is to be a father and how. So talk us through that, because I think, well, we know how serious Xavier takes being a dad.
Yeah.
We know how you, Sterling, in your life take being a dad and what that means to you. And so talk to me about how Xavier was just so easily slipped into that role of protector and dad. I mean, he comes and he lays his head. I mean, it just was so seamless for him. Talk us through that. Because it also felt like some of it had to do with not guilt.
I think the idea of any child being left on their own to fend for themselves in this world is something that he has a very difficult time stomaching. You know, so his instinct is like, I'm going to bring you guys home, right? Like, is it perfect? No, but it's going to be a lot more. You'll be welcome there. You'll be safe there. Like, I can look out for you, etc. I think it's also like he doesn't have his children with him, so he has like this sort of proxy for his own children. And I think there's never a part of him that thinks that he's going to be separated from them. It took them leaving him before he would have ever left them.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like he would have been like, this is where we're going. Come on, guys. And they just left.
I mean, I wept. I wept when you came back and I said sorry, and it was so no, but
in that
I heard it in her voice, right? Because even though the leader of the pack was the one who was doing the talking for you, I heard it in her voice because she didn't say anything, and when she did speak, it was so important. You was like, he's hurt bad. But I wanted to talk about what do we think Xavier felt when he saw that sorry?
A couple of different things, because they took a lot of his stuff.
Right, they jacked you. They did jack you.
I did get jacked.
The kids jacked you.
You know what I'm saying? With a jacked up leg, I having to hobble back to this plane and whatnot. Like, I could have used the few resources that I had. But then also it's like, I think they in a way were more equipped to survive in this world than he is. It's like, they've sort of proven that they know how to adapt.
Right.
It's been 3 years, you know what I'm saying? And they've made it this far by themselves. So I think there's a sadness that they feel like that's the best that life has to offer them.
Right.
And that he was hoping that maybe he could be a part of it in some shape, form, or fashion. But also now, I have to get to my wife. Like, at the end of the day, like, okay, now I have to trust that they're gonna take care of themselves. Now I gotta get back to my woman. That's the whole reason why I left this place. Probably the only thing that would let me leave my children in the first place is to find my partner in life.
Now, we got to talk about that moment, speaking of the kids and being a protector. What was that like to film? The guy dies in, what, an inch of mud? You know, you push him
like
down.
Once I push him deep enough, I get a solid 2 inches.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah.
But what was filming that like?
Look, he is trained to. He's a man with a particular set of skills or whatnot. But the idea, like the dude told me, he said, "Yeah, we've been tracking these kids for a minute here. I can't."
Right. Was that the moment you decided, oh, he's got to go?
Yeah. He's got to go. He just wants to take. And I think that's the thing that the season brings out for me, is that you see different aspects of humanity heightened and explored. Like, there's the selfish aspect of humanity that just wants to take everything for themselves. And then you see like the spirit of communion and people coming together and being of service to one another. And both of those things, I think, get heightened when tragedy, when the world goes through like a dramatic event such as the one that our world has gone through. But once he said, I've been tracking these kids for a minute, I was like, oh, you about to go.
I do think that brings up something very, very interesting and fascinating about Xavier's character, because he is this duality between a man with a particular set of skills, which normally we see in cinema and television and film as very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
But then what we live with Xavier is people are good. The world is good.
Yeah.
There's good in the world, which I find like a really interesting dichotomy, and I wanted you to speak to as this person who's playing the character and as this character unfolds.
I think it is something that he has to believe as much for himself as he espouses out loud. I think there's a turn too, because at the beginning of season 1, I think you're finding a man who's learning how to live with despair. You know, he's been without his wife for 3 years. He's been raising his kids, joyful, happy to have them alive and safe, but still grieving that loss.
Of course.
As soon as he hears the tape that Sinatra plays for him and the possibility that Dr. Teri Rogers Collins could be alive, then there's like this newfound spark of like, I can have my whole family. Like I can have everybody, right? And so his whole reason for venturing out of the nest is the belief that love is out there, the belief that the person that I wish to be with more than anything is out there. And so I think that turns into like, I don't leave for no reason at all.
Right, of course.
I leave to succeed. And therefore, this success has to be a possibility, not just for me, but for everybody, right? There is good out here. I don't believe good ended 3 years ago, right? Like we went through tragedy, but that doesn't mean that everything about life is tragic. There's still something beautiful that exists in the world, right? I think even the presence of those children is a reaffirming thought, right? Like these kids still exist. They didn't all go away. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a big deal. So I think like I have to find her, and in pursuit of her, I have to believe that she's still there. You know what I'm saying?
I do, or else
it's all for naught.
Yeah, and leaving your kids.
Yeah, it would be unjustifiable.
Speaking of finding her, I think we might actually be able to speak to the other half of this.
This is my favorite thing.
What is your favorite thing?
I love it when wives meet.
You have so many wives, and
I have a few.
They meet all the time.
I know. And they all get along with each other fantastically. I'm Xavier. It's nice to meet you.
Teri, what an absolute pleasure.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited to introduce Enuka Okuma.
Hi, guys.
You look fantastic, though. It's so nice to see you. Your character, Teri, is married to none other than the famous agent Xavier Collins, but not when we first meet you.
That's
this
right.
season. We get the backstory. We don't always get to play characters that have backstories.
This is true.
Right?
This is very true.
We play characters and we make up the backstory.
All the time.
All the time. You get a backstory.
Yeah.
You get a fleshed out character. Let's start there.
What a treat.
Right?
What a treat it was. It's, it's the beginning of this story. The story of it all. So it was just really, I don't know, I just thought it was really special to get to do that. And we had fun.
We had a great time.
We had fun, yeah.
It was awesome.
Did you know when you guys were filming it, this is for both of you, that it was going to be so magical?
You hope.
Yeah.
Was it magical? I mean, like,
that's what I was like. Was it magical?
you're my wife.
it
So
was
like if you say
magical.
it was magical, then yeah.
Yeah, it was magical. It was really
I
magical.
appreciate it.
Well, I mean, truthfully, we didn't work too much together in season 1.
No.
Right.
It was just 106, really.
It was like, hi, nice to meet you. You've been married for 15 years, go. That's kind of what it was.
Right.
So to be able to actually know the story, because you do have to make so much of that up as an actor, but we were actually given the story of how we met. And I just feel like it informed the rest of our relationship as the show went on.
You also know, Bird, I ask questions, right? I ask because it's an easy way to sort of just get to know each other. And Enuka is a fairly open human being. So when we're just sitting down in our chairs or whatnot, we'll talk, we'll ask questions, we'll have some deep dives. And then there's a moment when she goes into her script and you see her just like standing and looking into the space. And you're like, oh, she's working right now. Like she's like thinking about something. And then everyone's, I mean, like if I see a window, I was like, what are we thinking about right now? She's like, I'm thinking about what it's like to lose my family. And I was like, continue. as you were, madam. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's moments where you like get in, and there's moments in which you yield space or whatnot. But I think there's such a warmth and generosity that comes from her as just naturally.
Yes.
That I think that one of the things that Dan was sort of worried about in our meet cute was like, you know, is she sort of rejecting him too much and finding sort of a balance of like sort of keeping somebody at arm's length, but still feel welcoming, and not that the audience still feels like they want to come in and get to know it.
I mean, if you just take the words on the page, like the rejection was a lot of rejection.
For sure.
And we played with it many different ways. Like, how much is she gonna hold him, you know, and how bitchy is she gonna be? How unkind is she gonna be?
What I want is to have my surgery, get the hell out of here.
You already had mine. Some meniscal reconstruction.
Yes, I've heard. We've all heard.
So I think we settled on, like, immediately there is an attraction. Yeah. Immediately she knows this is trouble. But she's focused. She's got a one-track mind. There's something she's going to be doing.
Right. So what you're saying is
that I'm not going to let my life plan get derailed by the hot guy in the hospital bed who put a blanket on my feet.
And this is not part of the plan. Yeah. So you be all cute there, you put your blankets down, but this is where it ends.
Right.
I think there's also something that I found really funny about, like, bruh was undeterred.
You don't have a chance.
We'll see.
He was like, you can say what you want to, but you're going to be blind in a second. I'm going to take care of you, and it's going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think you saw the blindness coming down the pike.
To pick up your cue cards. And it's going to be me. It's going to be me.
Anywho.
Yes.
Now, whose idea, because the tray, to me, was just such a symbolic moment when the tray that she's, you know.
That all of her stuff is on top of?
Stuff.
Yeah.
And it plays, was that just script? Because it plays so beautifully. Yeah. And I love how it was just how organic that was for you in terms of living in this derailment.
Just calm down.
You want me to calm down?
Yes.
You want to calm?
I just thought the tray was so symbolic. What was it like for you when you were like, my stuff? Because you have that line, you say it twice. You say something about stop messing with my stuff, or like, or even sitting here.
I was like, you bothering my stuff?
Yeah, bothering my stuff. And then the second time is
this what you do?
What do you mean?
Make sure I have what I need.
Yeah.
It comes back twice.
Right, yeah.
That's why I said it was so magical.
You know what I remember? I remember a couple of things. I remember you trying to figure out the calibration of sight and what to take in, what not to take in.
Yeah.
Like, are there shadows? Is there, like, et cetera? And just sort of trying to get that part right. Like, I remember you thinking that through.
Well, because I shared this with Sterling, is many, many years ago, I played a character on a show who was blind, and they gave me kind of opaque contacts.
Really?
So it was a little smoky. That's what it felt like. It was almost like you're in a heavy fog.
Right.
And remembering that experience, because I really felt blind because I couldn't see anything. Yeah. And so I was just sort of traveling back to that feeling while we were doing the show, but I didn't have the help.
Right.
Of contacts.
Right.
And he was right there the whole time.
Right.
So it was just really fun to also, especially the moment when the sight comes back.
You can see.
I'm starting to.
Was playing with how much do I see? Can I read his expression? Can I actually see him? Can I, how much was I sensing him being there and stuff? Yeah. It was
well done, man. It was really, really well done.
Fun for an actor to play stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I was like, oh my God, it was beautiful to watch. What was the moment when you decide that he's okay?
I think it was, there's a moment when she says to him,
anyway, I said, we'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this happy-go-lucky, he's just like, yeah.
I know it will.
And I feel like Teri is so strong. Teri is so confident and so capable. And this blindness, it's the first time in her life that it throws her for a loop. And here's this relentless man who is not taking any negativity, adversity, nothing for an answer. And so I think because she's lost it in a sea, he seems to know everything's going to be fine. He seems to know she's going to be fine and all will be fine. Yeah. And so she actually is in a place to trust someone else for the first time. And so I feel like it's when he says, all will be well, that she's like, oh, okay.
I'm very reassuring, Bird. This is what Enuka is trying to tell you. I put people at ease.
I would be remiss if I let you go without telling the world that you and I have actually known each other
for many years.
For many, many, many years. We have been on this journey together. Right, for a really, really long time. And we would see each other. It's so funny because I feel like we had that relationship where we would see each other at the same audition, and it was that camaraderie that we are actually in it together, that we are colleagues.
Yeah.
You know, and I am so grateful to you for obviously your beautiful work on this, but also for you being the kind of human and actress to embrace and to say, you're my colleague in this. You are not my competition.
Yeah.
And that
means a lot. Yeah. I feel like I felt the exact same from you. And knowing that there were women out there that we have each other's backs. And it's like, yeah, if I don't get it and Ryan does, how fabulous.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And because there's enough for everybody.
Amen.
Yes.
And here we all are together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a tissue and I'm going to thank you profusely for coming. You look amazing as always. Okay. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Paradise Podcast. We are finally going to talk to someone with lots of letters behind their name, some academic heft, an actual professor, which is very exciting, a professor of sociology, okay? His name is Dr. Jonathan Mijs from Boston University with us, which is very exciting. Jonathan was a consultant on season 1, but now I get to pick your brain about all of season 2 and beyond. So, Jonathan, welcome to the show, and thanks for coming in from Boston.
Lovely to be here.
So, the first question I have is, I know that sociology is a very big field. So can you narrow it down for us? You are a professor of sociology. Is that what you got your PhD in? And more specifically, what part of sociology do you study and look at and delve into?
So basically, I spend my waking hours researching and teaching on sort of everything that's wrong with our society. Oh. So inequality very much is sort of my specialization. Mm-hmm. And this project was a really fun opportunity for me to kind of flip everything upside down and think about how one would go about creating like a perfect, egalitarian, equal society in which people could flourish and, be happy in a way that, unfortunately, a lot of us today aren't.
Well, how did you and Dan, how did this magic come to be?
So I think it was a TED Talk I gave years ago. I was based in London. It was like a big production in a large theater. I was very nervous.
Was Dan at that TED Talk?
Oh, no, he wasn't in the audience.
Okay.
I think he just found it online somewhere, Dan or John. Yeah. So I was asked to first have like a bunch of conversations with the writer's room, which was a lot of fun. And people started firing questions at me, like how would you even select those 20 or 50,000, lucky people that could live in this society? How do you decide who sort of gets to live in the bunker? Once in the bunker, how do you make it so that it's a society that has social cohesion that sort of sticks apart? Like, how do you bring people together? How do you exercise power in a way that people accept it as legitimate? A lot of those kind of really big questions. So that was my task, to kind of apply that to the scenario that is, the very beginning of the series that we now know as Paradise, and try to apply these to the challenge that was confronting the billionaires that were creating bunker society. And I try to do as best as I could. Of course, in the way that I always do things which is write a very long paper about it.
And did you write a paper? Did you write the Paradise paper?
I wrote the Paradise paper.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So there's a whole paper. And so how does one even begin? I mean, you have to how did you come up with 25,000, first of all, that number? That's not a lot of people.
Yeah, so I didn't ask the questions. I was just given like these 50 or so super big picture questions,
right.
Sort of like do your homework, like just tell me whatever, we know about sort of what might be an answer to those various questions.
Okay.
So we have some research about what people find acceptable. So I try to sort of help the writer's room kind of think through those various scenarios as best as they could. Things like, so there's where maybe that balance between merit, but also family kind of coming together. I think that's what you see in the show, right? So it's not just a bunch of adults who've done great things. It's also their spouses, their family members, their kids, because in complete recognition that people, for them to function and flourish, they need that. They need that kind of support, right? They cannot just be individuals. We cannot just kind of leave people behind. So that's something you see in the series. It's a big theme, of course, right? Xavier's wife is like the main reason why he's eventually, leaving Paradise, right, in search for her. So that's one theme. Another would be things like meaning. What gives people meaning, right? So we see that work has an important function in this society, whether that's being a bartender or being a librarian, but having some purpose, right? That's something that a lot of research also points to as being, people need to have some sense of purpose. But there's a broader sort of narrative around these are the survivors, right, of a catastrophe. These are the only survivors. These are the people. This is going to be the future of humanity. Right. And that's such a strong belief that really binds people together. And there's also the rituals, like around the death of the president, where people come together in a stadium. These are really important things that through rituals, we cope with trauma. We cope with, tough and good things that happen in our lives. But you see that once that narrative, that sense of purpose around we are the survivors, once that is sort of punctured by the realization that there actually are other survivors out there, then you see how quickly things start falling apart, right? In the episode that I think we've just watched, you see a small group of young children that bonds together over again, that shared trauma, that shared experience, that shared probably, violence and also the scarring experience that brings them together in a way that can be the beginning of something.
And what about your families?
They're all gone now.
But it needs to find a place and for people to have that sense of solidarity. And that's like something that in Paradise, in the bunker society, starts falling apart when people know that, in fact, it's not a democracy anymore.
And that
it's
they've been lied to.
Oligarchy. They've been lied to, right? And that's how quickly things can start falling apart.
To know that so much of this has such roots in an actual discipline is actually fascinating to me, that they didn't just spin it out of whole cloth, that it actually was rooted in not only your TED Talk, but then the Paradise paper.
I love that, the Paradise paper. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say when, like we're facing a catastrophe ourselves as a society. I mean, God forbid.
God forbid.
At least I wrote the paper on it.
At least you wrote the paper on it. Well, thank you for your paper, and like I said, I appreciate the show so much more. Like I feel like I can say I'm smarter. Maybe just a little bit though. Well, thank you for everything you brought to the show, helping bring it to life in its first season, and thank you for your trek. And I appreciate you. And again, congratulations on getting your tenure. And we're just getting started, so stay with us. Can you tell I'm excited?
I'm excited, Bird.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yes.
We're still here. We're talking episode 2 of season 2. And I probably shouldn't say this, but there is one guest that I'm a little bit more excited to talk to than the others. Don't tell anybody, because this is just too cute. Sterling's here, and now we've got Eris Baker with us.
Y'all, I'm in the house.
Let me explain to you
Tess from
what's
This
happening.
Is Us.
This is my TV daughter from This Is Us, but she's on the podcast for Paradise because she was a PA on set for season 2. Like you started a little later, like around 20.
And how
I
did
started
it
like at
come?
the
How
end
did
of
it
like
come
block
about?
2. So I told Dan like, hey, what's up? I want some production experience. Cause I want to be a film producer. And I just wanted to, I was like, I want to start from the bottom, like anything you could give me. And he was like when you get out of school. And I was like, well, I'll get out of school like after you guys start filming. And he was like, yeah, you can pull up as a production assistant. And I was like, cool. And I pulled up.
Not pull up.
She was so like, okay, Eris.
Okay,
is the
wait.
first- Go
Where
ahead.
was college?
Where is college?
Where
USC.
is college? Okay.
I saw her on set. I was like, Eris. And she's like, Sterling. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm a PA.
Yeah, I was really excited.
And she did everything with this big smile on her face.
Yeah.
Like they'd have her like holding traffic, like about,
Telling
half a
people to
mile
stop.
away or what have you. But she's teeny tiny. And she's like, rolling, rolling.
Okay, you making it sound like crazy.
You're hilarious.
I was killing it.
Okay, you killed the game. But let me tell you guys something
cute.
else. Besides just doing a wonderful job and bringing gorgeous energy to the show, she's also like a brilliant filmmaker. I said, Eris, are you working on anything right now? And she says, yeah, I'm working on like a short film. And I was like, how short is it? She's like, it's like 6-7 pages. I'm like, can I read it? She's like, you really want to read it?
I was like, no, you
She's
need
like,
to get to set.
Are you really want to read it? And she's like, yeah. She gave it to me. Bird, I was in tears. I read like 7 pages. And I was like, what life have you lived? And she's shooting it right now. Now listen.
Y'all are working.
Let me tell y'all something. This is weird. And I know this is Paradise and everything like that, but like, we were looking at like pictures of us at the beginning of This Is Us. You were 10?
10 years old.
Yeah.
I'm a woman now. She's grown.
You're a woman now.
I know.
It's true. To see this grown person with responsibility doing their job, handling themselves, and also creating their art. Nothing gives me more joy. Like having you on set this year, Baker, was a dream. You're a wonderful human being, young lady, and I adore you. It means I'm serious.
I know you are.
Great. I got my wife over here doing podcasts. I got my TV daughter over here PAing and stuff. Like, this shit is awesome. This is awesome. Like, it's worth it for this moment in my life. I am so happy.
Period.
What else you want to do with your podcast? Go ahead. I'm happy. I'm done.
That's
I love you too, sister. I really, really, really do.
We just wanted to talk to you. First of all, what's harder, being an actor or being I mean, obviously we know what you're going to say, but I have to at least ask the question. What's harder and in what ways?
Y'all want that real?
Yeah, for real.
Honestly, like I think being an actor, I don't think one's more difficult than the other. But being on set was hard. Being on set was really hard for me. When I'm an actor, I'm able to prepare myself. Okay, I know my lines. I know what's going on. I know the story. I know the environment. I'm coming to set. Okay, period. Action, let's go.
Yeah.
But when you on set,
Yeah.
like there's just few episodes where we just doing a lot. And
Say nip cut.
well, Pyramid Lake.
Okay.
Pyramid Lake was so hard.
Yeah.
And it's freezing outside and there's so much going on. And we on set, Crafty all the way around the corner, around the block.
And you got to make them run.
And I gotta make the runs. I gotta make sure that people get their coffee. I gotta make sure the director got their tea. And it's a lot going on.
Yes.
But it's important.
Okay, I know that we don't have forever with you. I have to ask you, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Because you're still going to be super young. And I want you to remember I said this.
Yeah.
In 10 years, you're still going to be super young.
Yeah.
Always know that you're very, very young, especially in 10 years. Go ahead.
Right. 30 years old, very, very young.
Yeah.
Still young and lit. I
Yes.
feel like I want to be a producer. I want to run my own production company. I want to make Black films. I want to make films for us, by us. I want to run a set. I admire you. I admire Dan. I admire people that are just able to create communities and create a crew that just gets along and connects. You don't see that all the time. And that's just so important. And I want to be able to make those environments for people. And I want to be able to have young Black girls, young Black people in general, look at my films and be like, damn, like, I feel that, or I understand that, I get that. Create conversation and just, change some things for us. That's what I want.
Come on,
I
boss.
love that. I asked you that because I want to be able to play this clip in 10 years.
Oh, Lord. Okay, let me change my answer.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect because in 10 years, I know without a shadow of a doubt that all of those things will come true and more.
Oh, Oh, thanks, guys.
You're welcome. We love you.
I love you.
Yes.
Don't make me teary-eyed.
No, we did that last time. Okay, Sterling has to go get the children, or at least one of the children.
Somebody got to take care of these kids.
One of the children.
You go ahead and make the money. I'll leave you to it. And thank you for having me on your podcast.
Eris, I know I'm speaking for Sterling here too. Thank you so much for coming today and being here with us and making Sterling's Paradise happen. So we really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of
It was
course.
a pleasure. It was a
Mine,
pleasure.
ma'am. Pleasure is all ours.
You gotta go get them kids.
I gotta go get them kids.
Paradise, the official podcast, is now streaming.
Stream Paradise on Hulu and Hulu on DisneyPlus.